going up. Ayo, Muff, you going up.
Damn, bro, this shit's crazy.
Burn Live, y'all. Burn Live. Marijuanically keeping us together, changing these hashtag. No, marijuana keeping us together, hashtagging these red eyes, changing the underage, smoking on social media, killing ourselves for your entertainment, sitting here with friends and family, starting a cannabis station. Welcome. Welcome everybody to another show. Y'all know it's Monday, it's going down. Marijuana Monday. We talk about marijuana news and what's been going on. Welcome. Co-host Kick Ass in the building.
Nick on this Monday.
Yo. So, not too much been going on in the weed news. Luckily, I'm shocked because normally I would have a ton of news to go over, people robbing dispensaries and stuff like that. So it's really been kind of low. Another thing that people are still keep wondering is when is the feds going to get involved with marijuana? I'm going to say this over and over until I turn blue in the face. I do not think it's going to be smart for feds to get into the marijuana game with us. I think there's just too many people, too many hands in a cookie jar. Okay. 2 weeks ago, I did cover how there are doctors in Atlanta who are training nurses and doctors how to prescribe marijuana to people. I thought that was good. They're also fighting because of Trump's law is to give potheads like me and you that watch my show the license to carry a gun to protect ourselves. Those are the major things that I've been looking into that I definitely keep my eye on. So today's story is a little awkward because when you think weed, when you think marijuana, I bet you think, okay, parrots, good. Kids, no. And what other aspects of marijuana that could be involved that you would think is harmful or even helpful? The next thing you would think is your pets. That little guy you love, that little girl you love, that little cat, dog, bird, mouse, hamster. As I just watched the Michael Jackson movie show the other day, monkeys, giraffes. I didn't know he had got a monkey that young. I mean, I knew for y'all, us, like we all knew he had a monkey.
I thought it was a joke, but once I actually watched some real footage, it was true.
I just didn't know he was that young. I thought he was a lot, well, put it like this. I thought he was out his parents' crib when that happened. So today in Floridians, there's always these Floridians, and I like Florida people. I think they're cool. I think they're some of the
most unique people.
Yeah, very unique. I think that's a nice way to put it. But then I got a story for y'all. And I ain't gonna lie, this story is a little awkward. So without further ado, let's get into our marijuana and animals.
Of medical marijuana in our state, there is a consequence affecting your pets that you may not even realize.
The Poison Control for Animals is actually reporting nearly a 300% increase in marijuana-related calls over the last few years. Your animal advocate, JC Birch, shows us how the THC is affecting your furry friends.
And the first thing I see when we walk in is just foil everywhere all over the floor.
Hannah Branson had just adopted little Falcor.
I glance over at the dining room table and the bowl is completely empty. So my heart sank.
She had no idea her brand new puppy would be able to climb up on the table to help himself to the chocolate Easter egg buffet. Did you have any idea how many chocolates you ate?
I mean, the bowl was pretty full. It was a Costco size bag.
Okay. Edibles. I just want y'all to realize what the dog ate was edibles, not actually marijuana, not the buds, not the flower. Edibles. Chocolate. For one, we should already know, people that are watching, that chocolate is definitely 100% bad for dogs.
Yeah.
So,
but just from my experience, gummies aren't as strong as like chocolate edibles. To me, the chocolate edibles overpower for me, for somebody who's been smoking for X amount of years. So imagine if an animal. Ooh-wee.
I will finish this, and then I guess I got a story to tell.
So quite a decent amount for sure.
Not knowing what to do, she rushed her 5-pound terrier chihuahua to an emergency vet.
They give an injection, which induces vomiting pretty much immediately. He started throwing up, and the amount that he threw up, they were like, oh, wow, he ate a lot of chocolate.
Chocolate toxicity is a huge concern for pets, but it's not even the biggest toxin veterinarians are treating.
More and more often, we're seeing people come in with marijuana toxicity cases. It's one of the more common toxicities that we see. THC, chocolate and mushrooms. Now we're seeing it a lot.
Dr. Ignacio Casali.
Notice how we're talking about edibles. Most of your dogs are eating edibles, and chocolate edibles at that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, y'all got big dogs, you got small dogs, you got big cats, you got little cats. I just got this questioning because I have actually put candy and stuff on the floor around my dog. And anything in paper, my dog is really not chewing up. For as candy. Now, food, chicken, bone, yeah, he running through it. But candy, he really not going after. Chocolate edibles really doesn't have a stench of
food that he, well, your dog unique though. You got it,
But yet again, that leads me to my story. Now, I guess I'm gonna tell my story now. Now, my dog did eat concentrate, pure, straight concentrate, and I was alarmed, just like how these people was, because my dog was down. like he took a bunch of Xanax down uphill. You know what I'm saying? He did look depressed and stuff like that. But yet again, I realized that he ate at least, unfortunately, I hate to say this on my live, but up to like 7 grams of concentrate. Yeah. Dang. So yeah, I can say like an overdose insinuate, but chocolate tea. See, my thing is, and the reason I'm saying that because when you think of chocolate, you're already thinking that you're already poisoning your dog to a certain extent. But yet again, what I was expecting to hear was THC poisoning your animal, but you're not hearing that part. You're just hearing, hey, it might be a little bad symptoms.
Works for a veterinary emergency group in Fort Lauderdale.
Still falls a little bit to the right, but we're doing a lot better, buddy.
He sees at least one case a week, sometimes more, of pets getting into THC edibles or eating marijuana-infused chocolate. How dangerous is
How little do they keep showing these damn dogs? And you know what I'm saying? Yet again, who
You know
about to
what's
talk?
crazy?
What's
But,
up?
like a dog, I know this is like almost off topic, but like a dog getting into edibles, like they still said, he's seeing so many new cases. That's pretty strange. Most of these people don't must not have kids or something like that. You know, because if they out in the open like that, if a dog could get it, your kids can definitely get it.
True.
So these must be the new gender, single people. You know, single, no
Single
kids.
parent, no parent, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because what would be killing me is these reports. You wasn't around, but I think I came to you and told you that they're trying to say that women smoke more weed than men. Was a report.
Right.
And
I think I disagree with it.
And I agree with it for the simple fact that most women are gonna say that they don't even pay for weed. So yes, you probably gonna smoke more weed.
Oh me. Oh no, I remember that conversation.
Remember that conversation?
Yeah.
But the whole article wasn't even about that. It was about the mental capacity that marijuana helps women deal with mental struggle and stuff like that. So once they found that out, that's what make them increase weed more. You stressed out at work, your boss getting on your nerves, your kids getting on your nerves. You know, we handle that, men handle that different than women. And what the dude was trying to say is that THC is making women handle situation more like a man. And I'm just putting that bluntly so you can understand.
What he was saying was basically, in so many words, that women smoking weed was making them act manly.
No, he just said that the fact that the increase of women smoking weed, if you didn't know, here's some of the reasons why. And everything didn't have nothing to do with security, freedom of don't have to pay. It had all to do with just mental.
Yeah, the mental part. No, for real, because if you know, just for example, I was selling weed or I had a girlfriend who smoked weed, and I sold it, I'm buying it technically. So of course they ain't gotta pay for it.
Okay. Let me put the scenario out there for you real quick, Dan. You got a girl, y'all chilling. Y'all get in a bunch of arguments. Just nitpicking. You didn't take out the trash. You didn't tie your shoes.
Left the toilet seat up.
Left the toilet seat up, which my girl really hates the most. Obviously, you going to work later. You know what I'm saying? Just nitpicking. And one day you sit there and you like, baby. And she, yap, puff. Yap. Keep yap. No, hold on. Keep up. You got to puff first. Yap.
I see what you mean. I see, but is this woman a smoker or is this her first time?
I don't know, but that's what dude tried to prove. That's what dude said.
You know what? That makes sense a little bit. Now, when you put it like that, it makes sense. Because before I even puffed and I knew what you was getting to, I just had memories of in the past. And like you said, argue with your girl. Here, take the weed. She hit it. Let's argue.
Yap.
In that sense, I can agree with that. But I think, I think everybody uses it for the most part, everybody uses it for the same thing. Just for that.
This for pets.
It can get dangerous at high quantities, especially now that for humans they're selling it at concentrated forms.
Meaning the milligram dosage for grown adults is way too much for small pets. Early symptoms are lethargy and confusion, glassy eyes, and stumbling.
They are losing balance, they're walking around, and they kind of like fall into the side, and they do the little bubbling head sometimes. They're walking in the hospital, and they're dribbling urine.
Hi, beautiful. Hello there.
You know, the biggest issue vets have with this situation here is that they really need pet parents to be upfront about what their munchkin may have ingested accidentally, because that information is really critical to the treatment of the animal.
The more information we have, the easier it is for us, because we do have toxicity calculators that with chocolate, with THC. We can plug in the patient's weight, the amount of THC that we're exposed to, and immediately we have an idea of, okay, how heavy are the symptoms going to be?
Doctors provide fluids while managing blood pressure and body temperature support. This toxicity is mostly treatable and non-lethal, with most side effects subsiding within 12 to 24 hours.
The babies.
Hannah is elated Falcor is back to his normal, wild self,
Oh, Pippa.
driving his big sister Pippa crazy.
So good.
And she's only out a $500 vet bill. But while she's perfectly fine talking about her pup's chocolate overdose, with the stigma of weed, some pet parents are ashamed or fearful to report the truth about what their pet got a hold of.
Nothing's forcing me to report to the authorities about what the dog got exposed to. Our main goal here is to help pets, and no matter what toxicity it is.
Make sure to always keep the legal or illegal candies and chocolates put away. And
I don't buy this story. I don't buy that story, but I noticed that story was directly pointed at small dog. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but just the fact that
Yeah, I'm choked.
I ain't gonna lie,
I'm all choked up.
I'm a little upset
Well,
because I feel like if your dog getting in weed, man, your ass need to be punished for that. Because if your kids was getting into it,
you'll be
if you
punished
leave
for it.
your dog in a hot car, you're gonna be punished. If you leave your dog in a hot car, now that dog can go home and get in your weed and shit all day though. I feel like that's
But what
you know,
type of a fine? What,
if it's
500?
harmful for them, yeah.
If it's harmful, but it's not harmful. There's not no medical report or what is it that what is the people that's ahead of that?
That or what?
The FIA?
I'm just saying, it's like, you know,
It's like you can get in trouble for giving your kids that, but you giving a small dog that you
and
should.
in theory, it's the same thing as the negligent part of it, you know?
Okay.
In theory, it's the same
So
thing.
in that brings up the next story.
Very differently to these products.
That brings up the next story about gummies in school. This is like back in our days, or my days and back, you know what I'm saying? There wasn't gummies in school. You wasn't doing edibles in school. Yeah, somebody eventually.
No, we definitely
Nah, it wasn't popular.
right.
Somebody eventually made brownies, but you did brownies outside of school.
Right. That's not nothing you bring to school.
Bring to school. But with dispensaries, edibles is a lot accessible, way more accessible.
Oh yeah, in the new age, like back in our day, nah,
You still had to make it.
man, you
Like,
nah.
to be honest, back in your day and my day, edibles was still $1 million commodity to make, and you could boom it.
Yeah,
You
because
know?
it wasn't as common as it is,
Nah. So
especially not gummies.
that leads me to this story.
This is an eye-opening story. We have a warning for parents tonight on what to look out for after THC candy was discovered at a Moorhead school. Poison Control tells us children react very differently to these products, and even a single dose can lead to severe symptoms. Comrie Bray has what you should know about these toxic treats.
We've learned those students consumed hundreds of milligrams of THC, enough to.
I'm sorry. I'm going to go back. Ever since, my resource has been really homing me in on narratives of how you tell a story. It's just, I don't know. Y'all are a news ABC company, right? I'm a marijuana podcaster, and I'm trying to be fair as possible.
Transparent as possible.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry if what she said
Is it how she said it?
Is triggering
Right.
to make me want to feel some type of way.
See, in just a little clip that we saw, I think the same set of words might have triggered me as they triggered you. Toxic treats. Toxic treats.
That, like, damn. Damn.
Because what do you mean by it?
Because when I heard toxic, I don't even want it. As an adult, if you heard toxic treats, please put down in the comments whenever you get to this part. You heard toxic treats. Do you, as an adult, want it yourself? Does that sound reasonable for you to even want something?
To me, that kind of goes into my favorite P word, propaganda. Because like studies have already shown that something like Pepsi or Coke is way more toxic than marijuana. True?
True.
Can't you clean a motor, like a car motor, with Pepsi or Coke, with cola?
And I clean my grill with lemonade.
You know, so
simple lemonade.
I mean,
your symptoms. Comria Bray has what you should know about these toxic treats.
We've learned those students consumed hundreds of milligrams of THC, enough to make an adult sick. And for the first time, we're seeing what police found and learned.
The natural overdose on anything is what, 1,200 milligrams. Hundreds. So this is me. And the only reason I'm breaking this stuff down, y'all, because this is where facts would just key in a little bit more better. Over 500 milligrams, 600 milligrams, 900 milligrams, 1,000 milligrams. The actual number of what these kids were close to what they could assume. So if you don't even know, how many bags did y'all scarf down? Oh, scarf down 3 at 500 milligrams? Wow. What is 500 times? That's your 1,500. That's an overdose. Makes more sense of telling the story instead of saying hundreds of milligrams and make an adult sick. And shit, I know adults take 1,000 milligrams.
I was just gonna say I ain't never got sick off no weed, never on.
Not no TA, not no edible.
Especially not no edible.
That's what I'm saying when I'm talking about telling a story one way compared to trying to make you feel some type of way. Just give me the facts.
To make an adult sick. And for the first time, we're seeing what police found and learning how parents can protect their kids.
This is actually the substance that was recovered from the juvenile that was involved in this case. And this was what was being handed out to the kids.
Moorhead Police Chief Chris Helmick.
The gummy that the students consumed had 300 milligrams of THC per serving, and the container had 3,000 milligrams inside of it.
Shows the high.
Thank you, officer. Thank you. Now we know how much they was assuming. They assumed 3,000 milligrams. Yes. Now we're talking about sick and overdosing. Makes total sense. This article make sense now.
I mean, I know we can't see it perfectly, but I don't know what the fuck that was like.
A fruit roll up.
Oh, okay. Tell me something.
Hey, get off my back. Or why I know why to get off.
High dosage of THC that 10 kids at Horizon Middle School consumed, later rushed to the hospital.
This was more than just a little weed.
The Minnesota Poison Control agrees.
300 milligrams of THC is a lot of THC for any sized human being.
Dr. John Cole says overdose symptoms at that level are severe.
The most common thing we see is terrible abdominal pain, nausea, and vomiting that sometimes won't stop.
In extreme cases, seizures. And for small children,
they can even stop breathing. And so small children can actually end up in the ICU on a ventilator with an overdose of that much THC.
Back in Moorhead, the chief says these THC products were seized from the home where the student brought them to school.
You have airheads, you have trolleys, you have Pop-Tarts.
The chief says
Ladies and gentlemen, these are definitely street brand edibles. You're not finding these edibles in dispensaries. It's a big difference of what type of THC you see. That's why you don't see no
Now I need some more information. I want to know what grade they in. I want
middle school.
Middle school, and you go to the home and find all that.
Yeah, makes sense.
You go to the home and find all that. They in middle school. Let's talk about the charges.
Because, and the only reason I know that because my son's a freshman this year, and he was already talking about all that stuff. So, last year and year before last, all that stuff, he was in middle school. And all that stuff was flooded.
I just want to hear if they're going to talk about the charges.
Nah.
Yeah.
For some odd reason, when it comes to minors, they're not allowed to exploit that.
I'm just saying, if I was a parent and that kid brought that to another kid brought that to my kid, well, I'd be wondering, like, what's going on?
those packages are again illegal because it's similar to regular candy kids eat.
Cannabis products, in our opinion, should be treated like high-risk medications. So we should keep them up high and out of the way of children of all ages. Ideally, they should be locked and not available readily to children.
Minnesota Poison Control says there has not been an increase in youth exposures to THC since recreational marijuana was legalized in the state, but they do run a 24/7 hotline where parents can call if a child is exposed to THC or showing other concerning symptoms. You can call at 1-800-222-1222. In the newsroom, I'm Kamaria.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know why that issue is played like that? And I don't care if people get mad at me or not. You know why?
No.
One, what did they say? In the Minnesota area, poisonous, there have not been an increase of stories of THC, of kids overdose. Because weed is just too hip, too known, like, right? So these kids, 800 milligrams, was a what? A dare. It's a dare. I dare you to knock out these and woo. Like them kids.
Oh, it could have been, or it could have
It
been.
ain't no coulda, yeah.
Or it could have been just no kids and they're getting high. You know what I mean?
Kids getting high.
Yeah.
I hate to ask you this question so you can just put it out there, but what do you think in a normal classroom of 25 kids, what's the majority of them kids is smoking weed?
It depends on the grade. But I listen. I do think that the kids, especially depending on, unfortunately, the community, the school, the state, all that, trust me. I do believe there's probably some middle schoolers that smoke weed and eat apples.
Yeah. Especially if a middle school look like lean on me.
They're on me. So in that case, because they really didn't mention anything about no charges or whatever.
They can.
I mean, I understand that. But
You
they made it seem cool almost.
Because you can't charge no kids like an adult, for one. Two, are you really going to put on the news, kid gets suspended for school for 4 days for overdosing on THC? Parents
On me, if I was a parent, I would want to know.
Would make more sense. You would think that the uproar would be justifiable, and you know what I'm saying. And listen to what I'm saying. Uproar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna put the story like this. So we have a light, decent uproar. You know, nobody rushing to school. Woo woo. When we put out the suspension and tell you into details of that, which I think is some privacy thing that kids got in school, something like that too. That's why. That's why most kids don't get court until they be an adult, so they can put, you know what I'm saying, do all that stuff. That's why I believe they waited on David so long.
I remember you said that.
You know what I'm saying? And then my girl got a report that I got to cover Friday, or any day I do my politic day. A law that they got up there. So if you're a minor, and I'm gonna talk about it now real quick. So if you're a minor and you do a murder or a sexual unlawfully act, when you become an adult, you do have a chance for a retrial, and your sentence might be able to get dropped depending on what they can prove or not prove during your retrial. In case some 15, some teenager raped and murdered a 5-year-old girl and got sentenced, minor. Now that law that they got in Oregon, he's going to be able to go up for retrial because now that he's an adult.
I think I heard it.
And so you got stuff like that. Nasty and scary, scary and nasty. So when it comes to these kids and stuff like that, to me, it really does look like edibles is not going to stop when it comes to these. I'm probably going to cover a lot of these stories, plenty of these stories about what's going on in these doggone schools when it comes to kids, to where, like Kick-Ass said, there's eventually going to have to be some punishment, but then you're going to have to punish the parents for taking, you know what I'm saying? Because kids ain't going to snitch, and if kids ain't snitching, somebody going to have to pay the consequences, because this, you know, that's how it is. People are always going to want something. No. In other news, I love talking about Illinois when it comes to something, because
that shit is embarrassing.
Some cannabis business.
Not only is Chicago losing to Chicago Bears to go to the county. Oh, that's official now. I just seen the report. That is locked in, locked out. They is definitely moving out of the home remedies of Chicago. Now,
It was embarrassing.
it is. And especially when you got a mayor who still is sitting up
You
here.
know what I'm saying though? If let's just say I was a foreigner and I'm finna watch this about Illinois, well, I'm packing the whole family up and going out there. You feel me? I'm coming from Brazil where they really chop niggas up and shit, you know what I'm saying? Packing the whole family up and going out there. We could blend right in.
Well, this is Marijuana Monday, and Illinois is back in it again with some marijuana news.
Business owners here in Illinois are wondering what comes next. They're asking lawmakers to relax a security requirement they say is costly and outdated. Lauren Scafidi has been following this debate, and Lauren, it sounded like they had momentum, but that changed today.
Terrence, they thought that this could be the year that those rules finally changed, but with the legislative session set to end Sunday, an amendment stripped a lot of those changes that the industry was hoping to see. Supporters are actually meeting right now to talk about their next steps, and they say they're not ready to walk away from the fight just yet. Cannabis dispensaries in Illinois are required to hire third-party security companies. Some business owners say that can cost between $180,000 and $200,000 a year, a major expense, especially for those smaller operators.
Not about overdosing, not about stealing, not about illegal shops being put up, not about how it can help cure somebody of seizures or help cure somebody of pains and eye seeking and any of that. No.
Cataracts.
Cataracts. How old people are smoking weed and walking more in parks and getting out, you know what I'm saying? Their body's not aching. They feel like they feel young again. You know what I mean? No. You know what we want to talk about? The safety of the people that's coming in and out of dispensaries and how much it costs and should we be able to afford it. Boy, you cannot make this shit up.
But see, that's part of the deal with citizens in life. Because you just hear what they just said. And you like, does this state in their politics? No, I don't want to be that part.
They're pushing lawmakers to allow trained employees to handle certain security duties instead.
But see, that was part of the deal when they wanted to make that shit legal.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Let's play this over.
And $200,000 a year, a major expense, especially for those smaller operators. They're pushing lawmakers to allow trained employees to handle certain security duties instead. Supporters say that change would give dispensaries more flexibility, cut down on costs, of course, and then also just make sure that they always have someone to fill that role. I talked to the owner of Sway Dispensary in Lakeview a little bit earlier about all of this.
Illinois cannabis is a very young industry. And I said this yesterday, it's not a cautionary tale. It's just really kind of an unfinished story. And we really need the opportunity to finish it, to be treated like any other business, and just be able to operate.
See, not gonna lie to you. Her comments is the reason why lawmakers like, what, y'all don't need security. Like, she made no sense. She made absolutely, we operate. We're talking about making a lawmaking bill to where y'all don't have to have security so y'all can feel safe.
No, I don't think it's about them not having security. I think it's about them being able to hire their own security.
They can hire their own security.
No, the lady said they had to go through a third party security. So instead of just having like how we work where we work, what if our job is hire third party security, but we was just security the whole time? We in that motherfucker making, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They were saying the third party costs the company $200,000 a year.
So you're gonna go.
So for a small little dispensary, $200,000 a year, your first year, you ain't even made that.
In a dispensary?
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying?
I think you're bitching. I'm sorry.
It's rough out here. You know they renamed Shango.
But yet again, you're talking about.
No, I agree.
Does it work? And I know you don't know, and I don't know, but does it work? will be my main concern. It costs, I don't give a, does it work?
I think
Are my employees, are my customers feeling safe coming in and out of my establishment? Because that should be the main concern.
that I don't.
I'm in Chicago. Sorry.
Yeah, so I don't really think it'll make a difference whether it's third party security or y'all hire people y'all really want to hire. I mean, I see both sides. I'm not debating one side or the other. I really don't care because where is that in the state is, and I know it's so crooked. So what I think happened is when they first made the bill, I think the people who made the owners knew that already. I think that's something that they knew. The fact that they would have to do third party security, I think that's something they knew. But I think that was just like,
you knew that. I mean, because for one, you want to have somebody that has nothing to do with THC and all that background and stuff like that, right? So that's why you're gonna go through that. That's why you get a third party. So you know you have no, because getting somebody that you want to get in there, you're gonna be like Mayor Tiffany hired. You know what I'm saying? She hired her on-site security. Dude was a pedophile.
you can't. I mean, I hear you, but what I'm saying is like, shit, a pedophile gonna be a pedophile when he was a security. He working McDonald's. Pedophile gonna be a
Okay,
pedophile.
yet again, unfortunately, pedophiles are allowed to work at McDonald's where kids like to come, which makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think different states got different laws.
But yet again, putting somebody that smokes weed as a security guard, and then your crime slowly starts to increase because he doesn't care, or yet again, he's not getting paid that much because yet again, y'all gonna slip up and make a bill to where y'all can pay him personally, or I can hire my own personal. Okay. Now you finna go hire your cousin because you can get in for the low, or you get in for a decent price. He do got all this, but yet again, he's still gonna smoke weed. You got that loophole that you just trying to make sure the affordable can fit inside your books so you can start making a profit. I get it, but I guarantee, period, point blank, because Chicago is still a top known destination, traveling destination for tourism. So you still gonna make the money. So you still gonna make a profit. Now, if you're making a 10% profit, 20% profit, 30% profit, 50% profit, that's the difference. Because no matter what, in the marijuana industry, especially in a dispensary setting, you're gonna make a profit, which is how big it is and what you're going for. So that's why I'm like, I rather for y'all to keep that third party. So you just don't have the influence of the industry weighing in on the party. So when the third party does get in trouble, because yet again, like I know how people are thinking, well, it doesn't matter because if I get hired as a security guard and I still smoke weed, because yet again, security guard is allowed to smoke weed, and I go to a dispensary, yet again, the punishment for getting in trouble for doing something negligent is going to be more justifiable than you work for me and you my cousin and you do something stupid and now it's cosmic. See, now I gotta boom. No, whatever punishment is punishments because you're going through an industry. Now, if I
see
get
both sides of it, cool.
Now, cool, because I'm saying now they keep it now. If I'm gonna pick an industry, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna choose nobody. I'm just pick another industry that's gonna be cheaper and affordable. Okay, cool. Make sure you keep them guidelines like that because to me that's a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm gonna throw my color logos up in there. Yeah, I got a bunch of that's what I'm gonna do for this one. Yeah.
But I think they knew that though. I mean, the people who own
The lawsuit
to know
spans.
that. You have to know that. Okay, so this is another. I do want to know why we keep looking at federal and why we want the feds involved, and then to turn right around and then get mad at what the feds are going to do. I know that's going to happen.
I mean, I think because
People really think they're going to get freedom. Oh, it's going to be more free. No, it's going to be more regulated.
I think so. Who do you think wants the feds involved? You think the dispensary owners want it, or the people who buy it?
The dispensary owners.
Because the feds gonna bail them out.
Huh?
Because the feds gonna bail them out, quote unquote. I mean, of course, the feds gonna come and take total control of it. But
They want the feds involved, so it opens up the bank. So I can go deal with any other bank normally because it's federally regulated. That means it's a tax bracket on it. That means this actually can be put into the stock market chain. Yeah, it's not. Weed is not like oil or AI.
Right.
You see what I'm
And
saying?
It's crazy because it's so natural. It's like
It's so natural that you would think that it would be.
But that's why it's not though, because it's too natural. Because
But
you can tip the scales just in your apartment alone.
But see, I would think even though it's state regulated, that it still should be able to grow. It's going to grow eventually to where it's going to be a stock market. It's eventually going to do that.
Gonna do that.
Yeah, you're going to.
Why would they make it a stock?
Because tobacco is alcohol is.
I understand that. But for the most part, alcohol and tobacco, you can't make that shit in your house, and you be willing to where you can just plant 100 plants in your house and actually tip the scale as far as the stock market.
Well, okay, so the stock market is nothing but just people owning into a business. Right. So if I got this one plant that I mastered, and I go get 100 people across the street to invest, I almost become a stock. I'm just not in the market.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
so,
then you have a lot of power with that though.
My power is spread amongst 100 people.
No,
I really lose power.
You have the power because
I just have choices because I got investors.
Right. But this is where you hold the power. I'm finna go down the street, get 100 from everybody. They might not never ever see me again or take the investment back.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. An investment is an investment.
You know what I'm saying? So in that time, like you can tip the scale a little bit if you do something like that. That's what I mean by tip the scale. That's why they'll never make it a stock. Which is, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't really know too much about stocks.
It's a bad thing for the simple fact that there are people that are scared to get into marijuana that you need their endorsements. And some people are like, okay, shit, if it was a stock market, I could shoot my money over there anonymously. You don't have to know about it. Nobody has to know about me. I'm quiet. I'm over here. You see this big ass table? I'm over here in this little bitty ass corner in this big ass table in the marijuana industry. Instead of me going in here and I got to become this big ass piece of mat on this table. So I take up space and people notice me because yet again, that's how the marijuana industry is right now. When you get in, you're gonna get noticed because it's so new. As soon as you smile, shake your hand, and open your door, you're gonna get flooded. Oh shit, you got what? Let me get that. You know what I'm saying? Only way.
Okay, I can see how I can see both ways on it. But at the same time, I feel like what they would do, them being the federal government, as far as get their hands on the weed, so to speak, I think that would be smart for the government to do. I wouldn't want it necessarily.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what will make me not want it? Because it's probably like I don't know. Like I can't make my own pen, my own weed pen. I can grow a plant now.
You can grow, but see, you can.
I can make my own pen.
Yeah.
Do I got all the tools to put the pen together?
Yes.
I can buy that legally.
Yes.
I can buy all that legally.
All that shit legally.
I can make the weed concentrate. That's legal.
Mm-hmm.
I'll fuck them then. For me, if I learn how to do that, that's like learning how to grow your own food.
Right. That's why I keep trying to tell people to put the feds in it. Only thing you're gaining is banks.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Man, they gonna cut all that shit. Boy.
You might as well go through the struggle right now of what you're going through and understanding that, you know what I'm saying, the struggle is what it is. Learning new laws is what it is. Edibles is what it is. Ban edibles in schools, period. You get caught with an edible, that's like getting expelled. I bet you will never catch another edible in school again. You're gonna have to.
I always question why gummies, especially gummies, look like regular candy.
Because
for the most part, candy is geared toward kids, like something like, you know what I'm
yeah, but then what it is we as an adult still like Skittles, still like Pop-Tarts, still like stuff like that. So if I can put a nice THC level, if I can put a nice THC level on it, you know what I'm saying, I'm winning. I'm really, really winning. So in that case, look at it like, how to take away from this. Only way I can take away from this is harsh punishment. What you wanted to see.
Yeah. I want to see definitely real harsh punishment so we get some different concepts.
Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, Puff Puff Give. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, anytime that you're watching this. I appreciate you stopping through and have a good day. And with that, we're definitely going to say we're out. Peace.
This motherfucker is locked.
Talking, I'm in love, babe, I'm first.